recording on multiple devices because my phone, of which I'm going to make a loud noise soon. That way I can sync it all up. Well, that didn't really work. There we go. So hopefully you should all be synced. Is anybody there? After waiting 6 minutes, I understand why you're not. So I gotta go someplace where I can find a mirror so you guys can see what is up with my phone. It's like a disco light show on my phone. It's like literally flicking like crazy. I'm not sure if it's coming up on my face, so I don't know. Oh, let's see. Good evening, Lalam. You just left S up. Katie McLean. Good evening, Lee. I hope it's a great night. Oh, it's not heading up to a great start. Let me go over to some reflective surface so you can see what is going on with my phone here. There's a reason why I'm late. I'm almost never late when it comes to these streams. Let's see. This isn't really quite a mirror, but I'm not sure if it's going to come up on there. If you guys can see, my phone is completely effed. Completely. Like, I just managed to find the right brightness setting to where I could see my screen every once in a while through all the flickering. It's just like flashing like crazy. So my screen has been broken for a while, but now it's done. It's KO. So the good news is I'm recording on another device, on a GoPro right now. Hopefully the angle is good on there. And in fact, you know what? I'm just gonna triple check to make sure. Yeah, it is recording. And then on top of that, I got a portable audio recorder that's recording the audio via lavalier mic, which is under my shirt. I just tapped it right there. So good news is there's redundancy. Were you able to see that through the reflection? How messed up the phone is? I wish I knew where the most reflective place to go. Let's see. What's up? What's up? VA 1765 SA. What's going on over there in Australia? Actually, before you guys say, don't tell me what happened in the UFC in Australia because I haven't seen it yet, and I really would like to. Let's see. Yeah. Let me know if you guys were in the beginning of the stream whether or not you could see how my phone is. And actually, this is an improvement. Yeah, it's daytime. I hope, well anyhow, I don't want to talk anything UFC because I don't want any spoilers. But anyhow, yeah, this may be, I normally do crazy long streams like 3+ hours. But I'm not sure if that's going to be possible this time. Let's see. Hi Lee, hope you're feeling better. Oh yeah, I was sick a while ago. Actually, I was kind of still sick last stream, but I'm much better. So I'll keep an eye out. The good news is, if anyone ever steals my phone, I mean, they're not going to be able to do anything with this. I mean, it could be no good even as parts. But yeah, people over here kind of turned in for the evening. Hopefully you guys weren't waiting too long before I came out. You know what? Maybe I'll just head over. Let's see. Highly, I just left SF tonight too. Dang it. Where are you from, Lalam? I thought you were from the Bay Area. Are you're moving away? Yeah. If anybody is in the area, that'd be awesome because it's going to be difficult to answer questions with the screen going black and then flashing a brilliant white back and forth 30 times a second. news is that I just look like a oops. Sorry, I couldn't even monitor how the camera was because of how crazy it is. Oh boy, I need sunglasses for this. I'm from Livermore. I came because it's my day off. My sister needed me for errands, so I had to, I assume it says leave. I really can't see, like my eyes watering. Oh boy. Oh man. Now I know, like, I'm gonna have to have another phone just for redundancy. So anyhow, sorry to you all that all this has to affect you. The worst part was my phone was completely unresponsive too, at first. But anyhow, never mind that. I'll just look for people to talk to out here on the streets. It's a little bit cold over here. I wish I knew the temperature, but slightly colder than normal. Not as bad as last week, but there might not be as many people out and about just wanting to talk. Let's see, it's windy. Hold on. It's windy out there. Oh no, it's not. It's not windy right now. Oops, the camera switched around right when something else fine. I don't know, it's like Sunday night. I don't know why people are going crazy out on the streets. I mean, it's like they're bumper to bumper, so I don't understand what honking's gonna achieve. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I wish I had some snacks or something to give out.
You spare any part of 350, so you can unload it.
What do you, oh, sorry about that, buddy. How you doing?
Oh, I'm on the verge. Just on the verge.
Do you have a place to stay?
Yeah, I have a room.
Oh, you do? Is it like an SRO?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's marginal.
Oh, how long you been in there?
Too long. Years.
Oh, years? Yeah. Do they?
It's very unpleasant. A lot of the crackheads.
Oh, it's in the Tenderloin?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know it is. Are you over by like Larkin?
Eddie.
Oh, okay.
Eddie,
Yeah.
Mason.
I used to live over on Ellis.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, over at the place called Ellis Street Apartments. You know that place?
No, I don't know any
But-
particular
oh, okay.
apartment.
I want to be in it.
Okay, what's up? What's up with you?
Nothing much. What's up?
My phone's broken. Want to see?
You like my shoes?
Wait, hold on. Look at this.
Yeah.
Tell the people how jacked my
His
jacked my phone
is a piece of shit. But get our shoes in it. Get our
Oh,
shoes
all right,
in it.
hold on.
What the fuck?
All right, let me see. Give it a kick. Come on, kung fu. Ooh.
Follow me on Instagram. Lovely Danielle. LOVEL.
All right. So anyhow, boy, oh boy. I can kind of see. Let's see. The last comment was it's windy out there. Yep. So now I'm gonna try to hurry on further downtown where there's less distractions. So it seems like my company's right behind me. So I'll try to see if I can go talk to somebody.
It's live?
See ya. Yeah, it is live, of course.
Are you famous?
I got 20,000 followers, but not much. Anyhow. Any more questions? I could kind of see like this half of the screen, which is kind of reversed for you guys. I think. Or maybe it's just reversed for my sake. Um, man, so, yeah, before the stream started, I was talking to my friend. My friend's going through some issues. He's got issues with his teeth. And apparently he was on Medi-Cal, and then for some reason he's both on and off Medi-Cal. If he were to try to get his teeth pulled for free, they'd tell him they can't do that because he's on Medi-Cal. If he were to try to see a doctor, they'd say they wouldn't see him because he doesn't have medical insurance. So, no good for him. And he was telling me he was trying to pull his own tooth out. So that was pretty crazy. Another reason why I kind of started streaming later than I intended to, because I was talking to him, and it was talking about pretty serious stuff. What are your thoughts on the Bay Area getting snow for the first time? It's effing cold. That's my thought. San Francisco has gotten snow before. I think the last time was like in the 70s, and then before that, I'm pulling a number out. I think it's like 1938 or something, but it's very infrequent. San Francisco gets hail more than it gets snow. But yeah, I've been in the Bay Area all my life. I've never really seen snow. Over here in the Bay Area, that is. But that's also kind of the reason why you're seeing less homeless people, I think, downtown, because they're all in their shelters. Almost every time I talk to a homeless person, they say that they actually are not homeless. They have a place to stay, just like that guy who was asking for money for a BART. So that's kind of a thing that they do over here frequently. They say they need a BART ticket, and so you either give them money for the BART, or you give them a BART ticket, and then they will take that ticket over to where people are buying BART tickets and tell them, hey, you want to buy this BART ticket? It's good, and then they'll show that it's still good. Let me go over in front of the mall. What's going on, buddy? Somebody just sort of paused with his fist out. It looks like I see somebody across the street with a bunch of stuff out. Maybe I could go talk to him. What's going on, buddy? Are you homeless? Sorry, I have a YouTube channel. I used to be homeless. I talk to people out on the street. You don't want to... Okay. Nope, it doesn't want to talk to me. Let's see. Got somebody begging outside. I wish I had something to give out. Okay, look at this. Let's see if you guys... Can you see that? I'm not sure if it shows up so well. Just polished granite. Just trying to show you how the screen is right now with it flashing like that. So anyhow, when you come to San Francisco, it's sort of a common sight when you're leaving anything. Sorry, but... No, sorry, I don't smoke. That guy actually saw when he first started begging out on the street, must have been like 5 years ago, I think. I first saw him. Actually, you know what? Let me go ask. Let me go ask him. Oh man, I see the flashing. Okay, good. Yeah, it is pretty crazy. Where'd he go? I think the guy left.
Smoke.
I was wondering how long have you been out here on the streets?
I got a place.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I saw you out here like 5 years ago. Is that when you first came to San Francisco? 10 years ago. Oh, okay. I first saw you like 5 years ago out here. Yeah. Where are you from?
New York.
Oh, New York. What brought you out to San Francisco?
Weather.
Oh, weather. It's pretty cold now, huh?
Yeah.
It's probably doesn't still compare to New York, huh?
Yeah.
So where were you from in New York? Like New
Long
York?
Island.
Oh, Long Island. Okay. Yeah. How'd you get over here? Just by Greyhound?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, buddy. I wish I had some food or something to give you.
Change?
No, I don't have any change on me. But you
Smoke?
no, I don't smoke. Sorry, buddy. All right, I'll let you get back. Anyhow. Yeah, this is not going well. So I apologize if I'm not being as engaging as normal. I'm just kind of thinking what to do with this $800 paperweight. But the good news is I'm still able to stream, I'm still able to talk to people. But it's still, even though I have a gimbal or whatever, it's still somewhat discreet normally, but now it's just like flashing like crazy. So anyhow, you know what I'll do? I'll show you. I'm sure as I go over down into towards Fisherman's Wharf, there'll be more people who are sleeping, and it'll be less of a distraction over there. I'll be able to talk to them. So here we see another person begging for money over here. Oh, she stopped. So, yeah, for those people who are new to these live streams, I apologize. Maybe check out another live stream from a previous evening. But yeah, whenever you give out money to people who are begging out on the streets, that money is going straight to drugs. So it's not something that I typically do. I feel much more comfortable giving out snacks and things. And actually I have, over in December, gave out homemade cookies and stuff, and even bought cookies to give out. But anyhow, let me show you, you know, I hear people talking about things being better in SF, and it is better in the sense that every person that you talk to, you say, hey, how long you been homeless? They say, I'm not homeless, even though they're out there like begging for money or high on drugs. But you still do see people sleeping on the streets. Right now I see a cop car passing by where there's somebody sleeping right there on the corner over there, which I will go show you. So here we are, 4th and Market, a pretty major intersection out here in San Francisco. And what is that store? 21 Forever, or Forever 21. They have it out of order over on their little marquee. But you see somebody sleeping right there. Oh, here we go. I got somebody yelling out about nothing over there. Here we are. It's pretty cold out here too. That was where I started. I already talked to that guy when the women wanted me to go record their shoes. But we'll keep on heading down over here towards the ferry building. Oh, sorry. So, yeah, we'll just head over here down towards the ferry building. I'm sure as we get closer to it, you'll see a lot more people just sleeping out here on the sidewalk. I moved away a year ago. I miss it, and I don't miss it. Nicole Escobar, the reason why you don't see people sleeping on the streets is because the SFPD has given the homeless bus tickets to here in Central Valley. Well, if you saw, there was a cop car that passed by somebody sleeping out on the streets. So that's not actually true. I think the main reason why you don't see people on the streets right now is because it's cold. When summer comes around, you're going to see all kinds of people. And I think there's a lot more inflow than there is outflow here in San Francisco. So for every person that may be shipped out to Central Valley, there's people from Las Vegas, over in New York, wherever, Southern California, who are shipping back in, either willingly or unwillingly. But yeah, I mean, I guess the grand plan here is to give them bus tickets and ship them right on back out. How does no one stare at you or your cam? You know, I don't know. I think I'm pretty respectful. If they're having a problem with my phone, or with me recording, I move on, and I engage with them. You know, I don't look at the phone. I look at them when I'm talking to them, and hold it kind of casually. If you're talking about my videos on YouTube, not the live stream, well, with that, I'm not on a big gimbal, and they usually don't have a broken, flashing phone, so I'm pretty discreet in those situations. That's how I avoid stuff. It's not to say that nothing has ever happened. I did have, in the video where I was following somebody who was high on meth, I happened to get a drug dealer who was standing on a corner to notice that I was recording, and that was no good. So again, for those people, there are still people sleeping out here on the streets, and you see there's sort of a trail going from there. This is a trail of urine. Oh, let me run across the street. Get fast. All right. You know what? I'm gonna try to turn off my phone and turn it back on. It might be a dumb idea because things are going well so far, but let me try. Hold on. So I think it's still recording while my screen is off. Nope. Didn't fix the flashing. It has happened before and it has fixed the flashing, but yeah, there's not too many people out here. But like I said, it is much chillier than normal here in San Francisco. So it makes sense. Last time I was recording, I actually kind of lost control of my hands because I'm not wearing any gloves. I just had my hands out the whole time. I rode my bike 8 miles a day commuting to work. I do miss my bike. You know, I used to ride my bike to work every day, and I would travel from 21st and Guerrero down to the ferry building in less than 10 minutes a day. But I was hustling. You know, skipping red lights from time to time because I worked at a bakery and I didn't, get enough sleep at night. Just because I was in a place called Guerrero House over there on Guerrero. And I was roommates with somebody who had schizophrenia, and also outside of my room was a pool table. So as I'm trying to sleep, I just hear the constant clacking of pool balls. And then I'd have to, that'd be all night, and then I'd have to wake up at 5 a.m. to work at the bakery. So, yeah, I would wake up. I'd be so tired. I'd fall back asleep, and I'd wake up. Oh shit! And then jump on my bike and hustle. And they were super stringent about time over there too. So punching in on time, you will get written up for being late. So I rode over there and nothing would stop me. I mean, I had pieces fall off of my bike and I kept going to get there. But yeah, I'd have my bike on the highest gear at all times. I even snapped the pedal off of my bike because I pushed so hard. I'm not exactly a small person, so I'm able to generate a lot of torque. Look like Market Street. Yeah, I'm at Sutter or saying something at Market. So I'm not really seeing too many people, but usually I see it later on down the street, down the block. Try getting into a Hollywood office and getting an actor job on cam if you can. Actually, funnily enough, I nearly have a degree in cinematography. I was looking over on Craigslist and trying to see if I could get some kind of something going on. I noticed that there was a few people who were asking for help, trying to get into live streaming. I was thinking, well, I do a bit of that. I was thinking of trying to see if I could, expand that way, or maybe try some extra roles or something like that, just to get out there. Because I would like to be able to get bigger as a streamer. That way I could pay for things like phones being destroyed. But it's difficult because I also take care of my daughter during the week. I did for a couple months, have my daughter enrolled over in a preschool, but I just couldn't afford to keep her over there. Plus, it was a huge time commitment because it was a co-op. But yeah. You're so sweet. Oh, thank you, Daniel. Looks like there's an ambulance going down the street. It's funny. saw that the ambulance, and it was a King something or other. I don't remember all of it, but I do remember that the last ambulance that I was ever in was a King ambulance. I have a video of me taking my stitches out, but I don't know how many. Oh, for those that are wondering, it's 49 degrees out right now. If you could see on that billboard, and if you can't, trust me, it's 49 degrees Fahrenheit, obviously. And tomorrow's 52. But yeah, let me think how many years ago it was. Must be at least 5 years ago. I was over in a place by City College here in San Francisco, so I was renting out a room in a house, and they had some additions. So it was kind of the room arrangement was kind of weird, so they had it set up to where the bathroom was really kind of an outdoor area, so you had to walk over a ledge to get in there, and there was a sliding glass door. One evening I'm trying to run over into the bathroom. I didn't know that the sliding glass door was closed. I ended up basically doing a flying knee to the glass, and it wasn't safety glass, you know. So it shattered and cut the top of my knee. Oops, let me show you. Cut the top of my knee and then sliced up into the bottom of my knee as I tried to put it down. I think it messed up some tendons, and I didn't have insurance at the time. But yeah, I was just remembering that when I saw that. Meanwhile, here we are. Looks like somebody's trying to sleep over inside the bus stop over here. He got his belongings over there inside the shopping cart. Smoking from a pipe. Over there behind me, somebody in a wheelchair smoking from a pipe. So, oh, look, there's an ambulance right outside, right in front of me. It's funny, my lights, my screen is doing the same thing, just in all white, as those lights are. I put my foot down, and then it went, the shards of glass went straight up my knee, and I think they messed up my tendon, but I was never able to get anybody to look into it. I went and saw a doctor later. They took an x-ray and then told me after nothing came in the x-ray, like, yeah, we wouldn't have been able to see any glass in your leg from an x-ray anyhow. It's just kind of ridiculous. I don't know what's the point then, but if you see, I think I still have a limp because of that, which kind of sucks because I was very athletic beforehand. So now we're over at the Embarcadero Station. We're very close, actually, to the ferry building. Over here, you see that little marquee for the Embarcadero Station, which is right down yonder. Too much wind. Is there a lot of wind going into the microphone? Let's see, try. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to see if anyone else is complaining about the wind. SF seems more hospitable to homeless than Orange County? I don't know. Wouldn't know. I haven't been to Orange County. Although I'm not sure if it's San Diego or Anaheim where I saw like a homeless guy just outright bathing in the middle of a fountain in the center of town. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it does seem like they are addressing the homeless problem here in San Francisco. But they're not really, they're not really solving the issue, I mean, it's like, it's good to know when you talk to somebody and ask them how long they've been homeless that they're not actually homeless. But on the other hand, we shouldn't be having the drug problem that we're having. And obviously, just putting people in houses is not solving that problem. Otherwise, why would we have people begging for money? Oh, looks like we got a police officer just flashed his light at me over there. Yeah. Lee, did you ever play basketball? You know what? I wasn't very good at basketball. Let me see if these cops want to talk. Doubtful, though. Yeah, buddy. Oh, they're leaving. They're dipping. Yeah, they hit me with their the light they got over on their mirror. I don't know, I guess they're just trying to mess with me while I was streaming. So did I ever play basketball? Yeah, I mean, I played a little bit. I was never on any team or anything. It never really attracted me. Plus, I'm nice and tall, but yeah, I don't really jump that high. So we got that was weird. I guess my eyes are messed up from looking at this screen. I thought there was somebody digging through the trash, but actually I've seen this person over here before.
Oh, I don't want to be in your picture. Please take me out.
Okay.
Please.
Okay, I'm recording myself now.
Well, you won't be though, didn't you?
Okay. Hey, what's up, new subscriber here? You know what? You may be the 20,000th. So I'm over here at the ferry building. I don't know what exactly to do. If anybody is here in the Bay Area and want to be, let's see, wow, celebrity. Let me see. Like I said, the fact that I have this thing flashing over here makes it to where I can't be as discreet as I would like. But over here we got a little tent set up. Over here in front of the ferry building is a popular spot for skaters and for people on bikes to do tricks and stuff. On the way over here, actually, over at Glen Park, I saw like a big bunch of people on bikes, and some of them were like doing crazy stuff, like hanging their bikes from from the street lights. Lee, please be careful. Don't worry about that. I will be. You know, actually, I didn't see. Normally, around there is the woman who was always wearing wigs and painting her face in silver. Didn't see her this time. You know what? Let me see if I can find old Karma Bear over this way. For those that don't know, Karma Bear is this guy that I saw sitting right over there on some benches, and I talked to him for a little bit. I haven't seen him since. What are you gonna have for dinner? I have no idea. I really don't. If I don't know, I may grab something after the stream is over and eat it, but probably something pretty quick because I go to bed early nowadays. So I may eat something on the way home. You know, because I got a big day taking care of my daughter tomorrow, who's currently with my wife. No, doesn't look like Karma Bear's here. So I think last time, you know what's crazy? It seems like the benches are not the same as they used to. Oh, actually, you know what? He was over there. You know somebody named Karma Bear?
No.
Oh, okay. Anyhow, again, I don't know, it just kind of strikes me. When it gets cold, the air is so clear. You know, I could see straight across the bay. The very tip of the Trans-American Pyramid. I don't know, it's just funny. But yeah, where should I go? Should I continue going out over this way? Lee, that's the last thing I see is Lee. Please be careful. That park across the street with parrots usually has people sleeping. Let's see. I love it when it's 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. I don't think it's too far off right now. Well, actually, you know, I don't know what it would be like. What, 18 degrees? I'm not very good with Celsius. Go to Turk Street. Boy, that is going to be difficult with my screen flickering like this. But I can try. Worst comes to worst, I can always hightail it back out of there. It's 10 a.m. Oh, wait, it's 10. It's 10 right now. I checked. Yeah, over here by the ocean, it is a lot colder. So I don't know. Somebody thought I was recording. I don't know. Want to see what's over inside this park? It doesn't look like a whole lot. Somebody was mentioning the park across the street. You know, it was raining earlier, so I don't think that the park would be a very good place. But let's go check the bench, just see what's up. Right now I'm like walking through the grass, I'm kind of sinking through the mud. So, nothing here. Oh, look at that. What the hell kind of bird is that? Not sure if you guys can see that. Oh my god, I can't see even when I'm recording because it's flickering so bad. Okay. Oh man, I wish I had something. Hold on, let me... Okay. So yeah, there's a relatively large bird. You can't tell. You know what? I'm gonna go into my backpack, see if I get a flashlight. It's weird. I don't know what kind of bird that is. I'll leave it alone. I was gonna try to get a flashlight, but I don't want to harass it too much. Oh, it just ran. Oh. It's weird. It's like a micro San Franciscan kiwi. Anyhow, continuing on our way. Oh. There was a rat or something over here. Oh, I just heard it over here. Oh, it's over inside this bush. Anyhow. It's crazy, you know. Every once in a while you forget that San Francisco, especially this part of San Francisco, used to be, I think it used to be a swamp before it was filled in. Basically, they took a bunch of ships and sank them over here, and then built some, just paved it over, built skyscrapers on top. And every once in a while, people will forget, and they'll build a massive skyscraper, and then they'll be shocked when it starts sinking. Don't work too. That's the blue heron. Okay. You know, actually, there's a pretty cool bird sightseeing park over off 3rd Street called Herons Head Park. Named not because you can see herons there, but because the outline is sort of like that of a heron. When I first got a DSLR, I went over there and was trying to capture pictures of wildlife, and actually ran into somebody who was out there, birding, who happened to, I was like, oh, what are you doing? He's like, oh yeah, I'm a publisher. And he showed me like this little handbook, and said like, yeah, I published this book for birding, and so I just wanted to check it out and see what it was like. So that was a pretty cool experience. I was thinking of going over and seeing what's up with the Salesforce tower. It's a rat bird. Try feeding it. I don't have any food and I wouldn't want to get in trouble. I don't know. I don't know what it would be looking for. Herons, don't they normally eat like aren't they sort of like marsh animals? I've never seen any frogs or anything like that out there. Maybe it's trying to find rats. Let's see. Yay, not everyone knows. Okay, I worked thinking of moving to San Francisco soon. Thanks for the content. Oh, you're welcome. I wish I wish that I could do a little bit better, but I'm trying my best given the current situation. I worked in a building that was on a ship. Yeah, every once in a while they'll dig up the ground and find big old like wooden chunks of hull, you know, or chunks of wooden ships that were sunk. Is Hunters Point okay? No. Listen, if I was gonna stream over in Hunters Point, first of all, I don't even know if the network would be robust enough for me to stream over there. Because typically, you know, they build out to the better neighborhoods first and then expand from there. But also, I would need a stream, you know, like, not a stream, sorry, a squad of people if I were to stream over there. Because it is dangerous. Dangerous. Police don't even go there alone. You know what I mean? Police don't go over there unless there's backup. I said this before on the stream. I lived over at Bayview. And even the Bayview, I saw some kid nearly get stabbed, and I called the police, and nobody came over. So yeah, it is scary over there. In fact, I was living over at the Bayview, and somebody in my neighborhood was missing, and they later found him floating in the bay, headless. Yeah, apparently he was waiting at the bus stop that I would regularly wait to. And there was one time, actually, I was waiting at that bus stop, and I was just talking to my girlfriend, and I didn't know this at the time because I was talking to her, but somebody was coming up right behind me while I was talking to her. I didn't notice anything, and then I just turned around and I saw him like right up on me, and I went and I turned and faced him, and he slowly...
He's serious, he means that stuff. Who's serious about this?
What's that?
Everything. What you got going on?
My phone's fucked up.
Oh, fuck.
Look at that.
It's all fucked. Oh, no, baby. What do we do now? Yeah. What? Detroit.
You're from Detroit? How long you been here?
About 4 months.
4 months?
Yeah.
What's better, Detroit or here?
Here.
Here?
Detroit's nice, man.
But it's a little bit polluted, right?
Yep.
And it's dangerous.
Very much so. Everywhere's
Yeah.
dangerous, so.
Is ICP still big over there?
They got big.
All right. No. So let's see. I'm just sort of zigzagging through the city right now. And you know what? Funny enough, I end up right back on Market Street. Sort of the vein that cuts through downtown. So which way is... Alright, I'm gonna go where I think the skyscraper is. So Hunters Point. No, Hunters Point is not okay. So like I said before, the Bayview is no good, and it's no good because it's close to Hunters Point. Hunters Point is where all the projects are. I mean, you could look over. If you ever go in Bayview, they have this park that I used to love to go to all the time, Bayview Park. And there's not too many people over there. Or at least there wasn't when I lived over there. Although they're building a lot of condos and stuff in that area, so it's probably getting more popular. But I would see a lot of wildlife over there. In fact, when I lived over in the Bayview, I would see coyotes from time to time, which was always really cool. You know, like the coyotes. Like I was walking home one time, I was crossing the street, and the coyote was crossing the street too, and he was looking at me with his smiling face and his tongue out, and I like went on the side. Oh, let's see. Somebody donated. D Flores donated $1 through Super Chat. Thank you, buddy. That will be going into a fund to replace this phone to continue to do these streams. So thank you very much. Oh, and by the way, at the end of the stream, I'm gonna have a pinned comment with everybody who donated. I think we're gonna do that from now on. What was I gonna say? I got distracted. I was over in the Bayview. Something about, oh yeah, with the coyote. The coyote just like walked right past me. There'd be times I would go home. And so anyhow, with the coyotes, they followed the rules of the road, which is crazy. You know, like they would walk on the sidewalk. They cross at crosswalks. I heard coyotes are so intelligent they can even recognize cameras and avoid where the cameras are looking. But yeah, you know, I've been waiting. There's this park, I'm not sure if it's John McLaren Park. But anyhow, I was waiting there in the middle of the night, or it felt like the middle of the night because it's black and there's nothing there, nothing around. I'm waiting at what I assumed to be a bus stop because there's nothing there. And it was just me, and a coyote came up and just took a look at me. And I'm like, oh boy, here I am in the middle of nowhere where no one's around, where I don't even think I get cell reception. And there's just a coyote looking at me bug-eyed. So actually, take a break to show. There is the tower right over there, but I'm gonna go. I see a little tent or something up over. Oh, there's a time to cross. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the coyote was pretty good natured. I mean, again, he just came over, said what's up, and then went off his own way. Of course, if I had my toddler over there, it would probably be another story. So, looks like somebody's here sleeping inside of, somebody's sleeping inside of some boxes. I don't know if somebody's over there, and somebody's over here. And then, I'm trying to think of what these oh, you know what? These little portable buildings here, I think they're probably security. I don't know. These portable buildings remind me of the bail bonds buildings that are right across from the courthouse here in San Francisco. It doesn't have any labeling. Oh, it looks like there's some kind of workers here because I see some high visibility uniforms and helmets. Turner. So maybe this is for the construction company. Yeah, it's probably what it is. Anyhow, yeah, so the yeah, what else? Oh. There we go. So, yeah, I mean, I would see, like, not only coyotes, I would see raccoons and opossums over there. I mean, it's crazy. You see, there were some rough raccoons over there. I mean, raccoons with no tails, raccoons with one eye. You know, I never really had a problem with raccoons before I lived over there, but there's some raccoons over in the back, and at night I would hear them fighting, like screaming and making horrible noises. But there was also like some feral cats out there, and one night I heard the cat making some horrible screams, and a raccoon had got it. A raccoon grabbed onto it, and the cat was, screaming and crying as a thing. The raccoon just grabbed onto it, and I could hear it just crunching through it. And then, I tried to take a picture, but there's no memory card inside my camera. So yeah, I could just hear it just crunching the bones. And ever since then, I've been a lot more scared of raccoons. I mean, also hearing of raccoons killing dogs and stuff. And the fact that they're so agile, just seeing them being able to scale what you would think would be just an impossible building for them to scale. Seeing them climb up it like Spider-Man, and like tearing through sheetrock and drywall. And then I would see opossums there, which are kind of interesting. I think they're the only marsupials, or one of the very few marsupials here in the New World, which I previously thought were exclusive to Australia. But like they can look pretty damn scary. There's somebody who I guess had some dogs that they kept outdoors, and had like a little dog bowl. And I would be walking home at night after working at like a theater or something, and I'd see these raccoons and opossums eating from the same bowl with skunks sometimes, and like the opossums would make the scariest damn face and start hissing, and the raccoons didn't give an F. Like they didn't even make another show, They didn't hiss back. They just went and ate right in front of them. But I don't know. I mean, now that it's getting developed, I'm sure it's going to be a lot less animal sightings over there. So let me try to see if I can read your guys' comments. Those portable buildings are the Poop Patrol headquarters. Raccoons smell like skunk too. Man, skunks smell like hell. Raccoons don't smell that bad. I mean, I've been face to face with a raccoon, Like had a raccoon, a huge raccoon, like on a tree, like this, that was growing in the middle of the street, and he was climbing up, and he was the raccoon who was missing a tail, and we kind of had a standoff because I needed to get on the other side of him. But I didn't smell any smell from him. Now opossums, on the other hand, I think they can leave off a smell of like rotting bodies when they play dead. Actually, I heard they don't even play dead. It's actually a seizure. Looks like they're rebuilding the sidewalk over here. I guess I'll take the long route to get over to the building. So anyhow, but who knows? As time goes on, as they continue to develop the Bayview, I'm sure that'll spill over into Hunters Point, and then somewhere down the line, they'll move those projects over, which they always do, to somewhere less desirable, and build new buildings in their place. That's kind of the cycle. Should I go down this shady road, yes or no? Or shady path? I'll wait for you guys to say yay or nay. So So where am I now? I'm at Mission and Main Street. Still deep inside the financial district. Yes, okay, that's where I'll go. So anyhow, I just wanted to wait to make sure that the guy who was walking behind me was not a threat before I went down. So here we are. What lies ahead down the shady little path here? Let's see. I think we need to change the name of Little China and Little Italy. It's so racist. Well, I mean, it's not little. So I said Little Italy. It's not actually called Little Italy. It's damn it! I just had it and I lost it. And it's not called Little China. It's called Chinatown. I don't know. You know what? There's a lot of people out there deciding for other people what is racist and what is not racist. Oh, my screen froze. You know, I mean, a lot of people feel that to say Oriental is racist. However, if you were to go into Chinatown, you will see many places labeled with Oriental. You know, so you'd see whether it be Oriental massage, or if it's a restaurant, or some sort of supermarket, you know, or some sort of, you know, knick-knack store. If you look into the history, I haven't done much looking into it, so I'm pretty ignorant on it, but I think somewhere in the 70s, somebody over in Australia decided that the word Oriental was racist. But it's funny to me when you have to tell people who are from Asia, who call themselves Oriental, like, no, we don't say that. Oh, anyhow, here I am in a little bit of a clearing. I can take a look at a bunch of these buildings. Where am I? Where is it? I think it's over this way. But I don't think that there's anybody who has a problem with Chinatown being called Chinatown. I mean, its population. Its population is like. It's by far, it's like primarily Chinese. In fact, they speak a particular dialect that is really only found in Chinatowns nowadays throughout the world. It's called Soy Chinese. So I don't know. Ah, here we are. So I am somewhere around there. That little white structure is part of it. Oh, I just missed the light. Yes, I live in Sweden, and they change their names of streets here if someone is offended. It's crazy. It's crazy what's going on over in Europe right now. Just kidding, man. Haha, chill, bro. So, sorry. It's like it's pretty dang cold for people who are unprepared. Of course, for that guy who said he's over in Sweden. Let me see your name. I can't. Andreas. I'm sure it doesn't compare at all to what you guys are used to over in Sweden, but for people who are unprepared, I don't have any really clothes for this kind of cold weather, you know. But anyhow, let's go see what's up over here at the, what is it? The transit center, the Salesforce Transit Center and the Salesforce Tower. It's been shut down for quite a while. Oh, nothing. Nothing going on. You know, actually I think last time I was in this area I saw a bunch of rats running around. It's crazy to think that, you know, I don't know how long ago, 6 months ago, I'm just walking around here. They're doing like jazzercise, or no, boxercise upstairs. And now, like, you can't go there. Although you can go through there. Yeah, but I'm not sure if you can see behind me. Well, let's see. Let's see. Well, Sweden, we had a street called Judvägen, like the Road of Jews. It's because a lot of Jews live there, and they changed it because of the Holocaust. It's crazy here. We give apartments and jobs to returning ISIS warriors to integrate them. I heard some crazy stuff over in Sweden. I heard over in Sweden that the jails are like apartments, and that you go over there, and it's or not like apartments, like hotels. You stay there, and it's got all the amenities, and then when you can continue to work after you've been imprisoned. They'll have somebody drive you to work, and then pick you up from work, and then drive you back to your little domicile. I don't know if that's true or not. I also heard, here's just some random facts that I heard. I don't know the veracity of them. Heard over during World War II, somewhere around there, that they did ethnic cleansing over in Sweden. Or not, what is it? Eugenics? So like they would sterilize those people they thought undesirable. But I don't know how true that is. I didn't do my own independent research. So sorry if I offend you with something that's untrue. Yeah, we sterilized gypsies and people who were retarded. It's crazy because it's crazy that, like, I heard that just listening to a Joe Rogan podcast a while ago, and I was like, what? I've never heard about that. But yeah, crazy. And then nowadays I hear stories about people walking down the street, like women walking down the street at night after being at a club, and being beaten and raped by refugees. Who don't approve of the lifestyle, you know, of women walking unattended. We stopped in 1975. That is recent. That's crazy. Well, that would explain why you guys are all blonde, right? Even though it's a recessive gene. So anyhow, here we are. the Salesforce Transit Center, and it's all shut down. One of my early streams, I was over here, and somebody opened the door for me actually and let me walk around in there, even though it was closed to the public at the time. And there's another Salesforce building over there. Whoop. Let's see. It's true. In 1975, 437 rapes were reported. In 2018, we had 7,894 reported. Yeah, that's no good. You know, I was reading about Egypt. How over there, they'll just openly rape people, rape women out in public. Like, there'll be women who will be demonstrating for women's rights, and they'll just, a bunch of men will just swarm around them and gang rape them. Meanwhile, they're telling them the whole time, like, oh, you know, don't struggle, I'm here to help, I'm here to help. While they're all just violently attacking the person there. And apparently, this is, you know, they'll have police overlooking the whole thing and not taking action. So there's a lot of people who believe that it's actually the government who's behind these things. But it's hard to just tell people to go rape, you know, who don't have that in them. Yeah. So I don't know where to go to now. Anyhow, for those people who are tired of just looking at me the whole time, here I am. It's just a lot of construction and empty buildings right now. Let me see if I could and people sleeping in bus stops. Let me see what else I could see around here. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it to Alcatraz. There's, what do you call it? There's sharks in these waters. On top of that, I don't know if you've ever been inside the San Francisco waters, but it is much colder than you would think. So here they're doing construction. Let me see if I could give you a perspective most of what you see. So they have a walkway over here. They got a little barricade, but I'm 6'8", so I can see straight over it. Safety. You know what I like is they'll tear down buildings to build a new one, and then every once in a while you'll see like these you know, these little signs that were there like from the 40s or who knows how when, you know. First time it's been seen in who knows how long, you know. Maybe it's been 50 years since that thing has been visible. One case we had, 14-year-old, one case we had, 14-year-old getting gang raped by 3 immigrants, but one of them was set free and was given, boy, with all this flashing, it's going to be hard to count those zeros. 100,000 Swedish kroner. That's 10,000 US dollars, and all that because he was not raping her. So that's just for being accused, right? He just recorded it and wanked off and came in her face. You know, I don't know. In fact, wasn't the guy from WikiLeaks in trouble? Sweden has got some weird sex laws. I think the guy from WikiLeaks is wanted for having sex and not telling the person he was having sex with that he had that he didn't have a condom on. And for that, they want to extradite him to the U.S. Which is kind of a weird stretch. So, I made it. I wandered back onto Market Street. I could hear the fake clock tower over in the ferry building behind me. And yeah. Look at that. Nobody. I can see someone across the street on a bike. But yeah. That's it. You know what? Let me go down. Oh, there. I think I see somebody on the other side over there. And there's a homeless person over inside the bus stop over there. Or maybe it's a couple on the other side. But I'm just gonna go over here just because it looks unpopulated. I just want to see stuff you wouldn't normally see other people go to. Yank Sing. I wonder how much foot traffic they get over here. Because I'm literally trying to go like where I wouldn't normally go, and that's how I ended up here. Let's see. Something. Lamb Chop XOXO donated $5 through Super Chat. Thank you.
Yeah, there is. He's gonna take the spot.
Okay. So, thank you again, Lamb Chop. Like your... Hold on, let me see. Back from running errands. How's everything? It's okay. I'm wandering streets I've never been down before. Just really back alleys. Honestly. Honestly, I should have brought protection as I go down through here, but oh well. So I guess this is called Jesse Street. I guess I had been here before. So I'm just gonna walk down the middle of the street because it's... Look, Golden Gate University. I think that's community college. Okay. So I'm really just going places where I would go if I were homeless to sleep. But looks like there used to be a marquee that was ripped off. Oh no, there is. Wow, look at that. It's all empty. Like, you are here, and there's like, look, there's nothing. Something here maybe? Or a little bit of grass, I think that means. Like, this is parking for all of this nothing. Oh, look, it's a real brick building. Those are pretty rare here in San Francisco because the 1909 earthquake destroyed most of them, and no new buildings are made with brick. So usually if you see a building with brick, it's a facade. But here you could tell because it's jacked up. You know, it's got cracks going through it. You know, there's gaps in the cement. This feels like, if I were to get shot, it feels like it would be somewhere around here where there's nobody. Let's see, is it true that it's illegal to defend yourself in San Fran? I heard something you can get charged for defending yourself. I'm not sure, you know, it changes from state to state. The US, it's kind of like Europe in that every state gets to make its own laws, although it's regulated by the laws of the whole, you know, federal entity. But so certain states have something called a stand your ground law, where you're allowed to use lethal force if you feel like you're in imminent danger. San Francisco, I'm not exactly sure on what the laws are. You are allowed to carry a gun in San Francisco, although I think you need special some sort of special license to be able to have concealed carry. I saw some people behind me, so I'm gonna go this way instead of that way. So I don't know exactly what the laws are as far as I know people have gotten in trouble before for killing somebody, but I guess you're gonna go to court and you're gonna have to show that it was not an excessive use of force and that it was only what you felt was necessary to defend yourself at the time. Looks like there's somebody over here. No, guess not. I don't know. I know that San Francisco is more stringent as far as projectiles. I know that like BB guns and oh, look at this. So somebody is right here sleeping over a manhole, which would be a good name for a gay bar. But yeah, sleeping over a manhole because you know, the heat rises. And then somebody over there with a stolen bike. Over another vehicle. Yeah. Okay, thanks for, oh, sorry. So yeah, anyhow, like, just to let you guys know how cold it is, look at that coming from the sewer. Yeah, San Francisco has much, like California has pretty stringent gun laws, and San Francisco is even more stringent. And BB guns and pellet guns are illegal, and so are slingshots. So I would assume that there's probably more laws versus, not versus, for using lethal force. In fact, I think you can get in trouble for using pepper spray if it's not warranted. And also tasers. Heard about that too, but I think it applies to the entire state of California. People lay those on those manholes even during rush hour. Chilled to the bone outside. In Sweden, you were not even allowed to have a knife on you. You know, I saw Alexander Gustafsson out there hunting with a rifle, so I don't know how that happened. I don't know, maybe it's sort of like England. I know in England, or at least in London, you're not allowed to have a gun, but you are allowed. You're allowed to have a rifle for hunting. You know, what's crazy? I used to be a caregiver, and I took care of this guy named John, so he was under what they call conservatorship, and that's where they deem that you are not of sound enough mind to be in charge of your own affairs. So somebody else is your executor, meaning they choose what happens with your money and ultimately with you. They were selling off all his belongings. He had a lot of old belongings. One of which was his father's rifle. And so I was there with him one time, looking at his things that were going to be sold, and giving him a last opportunity to look through all his belongings to choose what he wants before it all gets sold to pay for him being in an old folks home. And so he had multiple brain tumors, and he had multiple brain. Well, I think he had one brain surgery, and then he went under. He had two brain surgeries. One of which he really waited a long time before he took action. I don't know, there's something going on over here. There's a lot of homeless people down that way, but it's a little bit too dangerous for my liking right now. He had a lot of people. Oh wait, what was that? Oh, so he had two brain surgeries, one of which he actually waited on. So the first time he had a brain surgery, he didn't like. He had some memory issues afterwards. So he was having another brain tumor. They're saying we need to go in there. He didn't want to take care of it. The tumor is located inside the right frontal lobe. So that's where your executive functioning is. That's where your impulse control, your logic, your reasoning, and your empathy. It's all located in your right frontal lobe, or in your frontal lobe in general. Your occipital lobe, no, occipital lobe's in the back. Sorry, your prefrontal cortex. That's what I'm thinking. Because of these surgeries, he literally lacked the brain power to think about things, to control his impulses and logic and reasoning were impaired. Anyhow, we're going through his things. I'm trying to help him look through some stuff. He's looking through some other stuff. He comes across his father's rifle and he picks it up and he's got it. He's holding it and I'm looking at it. I'm telling him, like, okay, put that down, you know? And he's holding it sideways. Like, hey, John, why don't you put that down? And as I'm trying to tell him that and try to tell him not to pull the trigger, he pulls the effing trigger, which was a scary moment. Like, fortunately, it wasn't loaded. Oh no! That beep was the message that I used 48 gigs of my 50 gigabyte allotment. Oh well, I'll run it into the ground. Oh look, somebody's begging for money out here. There's nobody. So there's but yeah, anyhow. Sorry, I got kind of distracted. I was thinking about John. It was really difficult taking care of him because he would do whatever the F he wanted to do, and I wasn't allowed to leave his side until he went back into his room. So he would be out all night. I mean, he was also gay, so I'd have to go with him over to gay bars, and people would be hitting on me and everything. But yeah, I'd be going. I mean, he would go off, and basically on a night on the town, and I had to be there with him. You know, he's like a 80-something-year-old guy, you know, trying to score a lid of weed, doing coke, you know. But anyhow, let's see. Charles, you get $1,000 US on benefits here, so you're welcome. Can you walk the Castro next week? Yeah, I can go on Castro. It'll be very, very different. It'll be very different over there. Hopefully, me running out of my allotment of network doesn't impact my ability to stream. But anyhow, while I'm kind of talking here, I'm right back here at Powell Station. So you see there's a little bit more activity over here again. But still pretty effing cold. I don't know what's up over here. Oh, they're selling food. For the hot dog vendor, probably. And there's another hot dog vendor over here. You know, that's kind of a new thing. Again, I think that's something that only started happening here like 5 years ago. People just setting up shop. You see right there over at Old Navy, right there on the corner, somebody just sleeping right there under this clock. Which is actually, I don't know if it's just a random chance, but it's actually accurate for once. You know, looking at that clock, I was just thinking, you know how over here in the U.S. we're on a 12-hour clock cycle with AM and PM, whereas most of the world, or much of the world, is on a 24-hour cycle, and I always wondered why that was. Turns out it was because, you know, building the mechanical clock towers, it is significantly more complex to build a 24-hour clock cycle. That's what I'll look at. So this guy over here. I think it takes like 4 times, it's like 4 times more complex. So if you go over to Europe, I'm not sure if they're still around, but at least there used to be 4-hour clocks that you'd have to repeat throughout the day just because of the simplicity over there. Because I always wondered, why is it over here in the US we're on a 12-hour cycle, whereas Europe, I mean, look at Big Ben, you know, it's only got 12 hours over there. But let's see. Okay, let's see. Ta-da. Okay. I always think it's funny you got lazy ass security using these little things, you know, as equivalent to the rascal. For those who don't know, the rascal, somebody over there across the street's picking at himself. Are you the only San Francisco streamer? I don't know. I don't know whether that's the case. Oh, you know, somebody was asking me or saying, oh, you should do something like some sort of acting role or something. The reason why I was on Craigslist, I was looking to see if there's anybody else in this area that's doing like podcasts or anything, because I would like to be able to talk to somebody and actually do a podcast, especially considering how, as I said before, most of my life when I'm not streaming is actually spent listening to podcasts, you know, whether I be just doing errands or artwork or whatever. I'm always listening to podcasts. So it would be nice to be able to do that. Wonder what's going on over here. I'll just do a little walk by. You know, the police are very sensitive about being filmed over here. So give me your questions. I'll try to answer them while I discreetly film as I walk past. He's literally only the SF streamer I could find so far, pretty much. You know, oh, it doesn't look like there's any police over. I don't know what's going on with this cop car over here. I guess there is nothing going on. You know what? Let me go up over Powell Street. Oh, you know what? Somebody said they wanted me to go over to Turk Street. I don't know if that's a good idea. But let's just take a little look-see. Well, so as far as me being the only SF streamer, I don't know. It's San Francisco. There's a lot of people. I may be the only streamer in SF. But even if I'm not, I can guarantee you, you're not going to see another channel like my channel. That's the reason why I started doing what I was doing in the first place. Anyhow, over here at Powell Station. Oh, can't stay here too long because they're always playing copyrighted music. But yeah, the first sight many people will see from San Francisco is people begging for money over here. The San Francisco International Airport is not actually in San Francisco, it's in San Bruno. So people will ride it and come off over here as they unknowingly go over to their Tenderloin apartments, or hotels, because it's near downtown. They'll pass through over here and then walk straight into the worst neighborhood in that area. It looks like somebody's lighting up something over down here. So I don't know, I can't see from here what exactly he's lighting up. That was crazy. On Martin Luther King, oh look, it's lighting up again. That tells me that it's probably crack he's smoking. You know, a cigarette only needs to be lit once. But who knows? let's see. No one said Swedish. Oh boy. But since you're Swedish, I'll let you know everyone hates your country. I'm not Swedish. I was just talking to somebody from Sweden. Okay. Breezy Girl, have you ever taken the stream to the Golden Gate Bridge, Lee? That would be fun to see. Yes, I did actually walk across the Golden Gate Bridge in a live stream. I guess the issue with that is there's not really good reception, so it was kind of dropping off. And then also, you know, you're over the ocean, so there's a lot of wind. So it was hard, you know, I kept taking breaks in talking because I didn't want to be saying stuff while other people couldn't hear me due to the turbulence. Look, over here we just got a bottle rolling down the street. And that's because there's a woman over here digging through recycling, and actually a guy. So some people go for the cardboard, other people go for the bottles. Oh, it's all blurry. Sorry about that. Let's see. There we go. Anyhow, I took care of a problem. Let's see. My stream is buffering a lot. I'm trying to look at my stream health. It looks like it's okay here. My stream is buffering a lot. Is it just me? I think so. It says, I know I'm with, okay, let's see. Give money, guys. Let's keep it going, don't it? Thank you, D. Flores. Okay. So anyhow, for those people who are being harassed, I don't think that's going to be an issue any longer. I tried to give a little 2-minute timeout before, but that didn't really send a message. So now it's an indefinite one. Oh! Okay. You know what? I don't know, I already told this before on the live stream, but we're right outside of a place. We're over here off Ellis Street. I mean, this is Ellis right here. I caught somebody who stole a tourist cell phone right over there. Actually, the chase started from over up on Powell Street and went around on the block and over here. And the girl whose cell phone was stolen was from Korea, and yeah, she lost it. I mean, she was like panicking and everything. Once we gave her back, once we were able to retrieve the cell phone and give it to her, she like collapsed. She was hyperventilating. She collapsed right here in front of this restaurant. Yeah, actually, I think it was like, or maybe it was further up, because there were a bunch of, it was right next to a bunch of garbage cans, like you see up over here. And yeah, she just collapsed right on here. You see it's pretty dirty. It looks like they cleaned up some feces right over here. But she was just laying there hyperventilating and like couldn't move her hands and stuff. Anyhow, I'm not going to go too far into details on that. You know, the people from this restaurant were very nice. You know, I was telling him that it's probably because she had sort of a. I was saying that she was probably low on her insulin because she was running and screaming the whole way here, or maybe low on glucose. I mean, so they gave her a juice and that helped her out. Anyhow, should I go back over to? Oh, you know what? Let me go over up Powell Street. Let me continue over this way. Where is the cheapest motels in San Francisco? Motels. Not too many motels. San Francisco's not really a good place to drive to. So I wouldn't know as far as motels. Hotels are getting more expensive. And actually, probably a way around that would have been Airbnb, but there was recently laws that prevented people from using Airbnb. So I don't know. The cheapest place to go to would probably not be the best place to go to. The cheapest place would probably, I would imagine, be someplace straight in the Tenderloin, where you don't have a bathroom inside your room. You gotta go down a dirty ass hallway where people are smoking crack to go use a bathroom. And I don't know what the prices would be. I was in a pretty nasty hotel before. When I was like 17, I was over, or maybe I was 16. I was over in a hotel, and it was $45 a night. Of course, it's going to be a lot more nowadays because that was a long time ago. And so, yeah, that place had lipstick, like something written in lipstick on the wall, and got a little stream here. I looked out the window, and it was straight into the window of another apartment where I could see somebody banging the hell out of somebody. There was a little hole in the wall, and you know, right outside of it, there was a little dish with some pet food. Because the people who were running it, I guess they were Hindu, so they had little food offerings for the mice that were there. That was $45 a night. Nowadays, I can only imagine how much it would be. Probably $75 a night. I'm gonna show you guys a place over here, a 24-hour diner called Pinecrest. Let me cross the street. Let's see. Cheapest motels. Poor thing. I hope they're doing all right. I'll sleep in my. Oh, I don't know what's going on. I'm missing some comments, I guess. I'll sleep in my car. Then I know Walmart. You can sleep in the parking lot. Is there a Walmart in San Francisco? No, there's. In fact, I think there's laws preventing Walmart from coming over here. In fact, we recently had to allow Target to be here because Target was prevented from being over here too. So no, there's no Walmart over here. What's up with you, D Flores? I didn't see what you said. D Flores. No, I see you saying give money. I don't see. Where's the cheapest motel? That's all I see. So I'm missing a comment in the middle. Tom, hey, what's happening? What's up with you, Tom? Uh-oh, I think I made a mistake. Let's see. So anyhow, D Flores. I was trying to moderate from my phone, but I can't really see too well, so try leaving a comment. For some reason, I'm not seeing your comments. If so, I will try to rectify that when I get home. I hope you're not banned because I don't see anything. Let me see. Where's the pine? Oh, so here's the Pinecrest. So most of San Francisco shuts down at like around 9 o'clock. This place here is a 24-hour diner. So I went here one time with my friend Carlos late at night, and as we were sitting there eating, this big homeless woman came in there, was asking for food while we're eating. He had a, let's see, D Flores. Oh, I also said you're a good streamer. I like how you show the city. Oh, thank you, D Flores. So, I was afraid for a moment that I had banned you, so I guess that's not the case. Anyhow, so I was over here. I'll just do this because I think people are afraid of me filming. So I was over at this diner over here, sitting with my friend, and a huge homeless woman came inside, and was asking for food. Carlos had like a plate with fried chicken on it, right? And so then he's like, "All right, you can have this one over here," and he's pointing at a specific piece. And then she went slowly and like reached over that piece and grabbed like the biggest piece on his plate and walked off, and Carlos was just shaking his head, pissed. So where should I go? Let's see, I'll just continue. Actually, you know what? Over here, there's a theater that I used to work at. The Curran Theater, which is owned by Carol Hayes. Anyhow, I used to work over here. In fact, I met Hugh Jackman over here. He was doing a one-man show at the time. I mean, I didn't really have too much of a conversation. I was just kind of guarding the stage while he was up. He actually talked to me while he was live and mic'd, and he was behind stage. So yeah, what'll happen, there'll be a performance, let's say Jersey Boys or something, and some girls will watch the performance. This is where the groupies go. They wait right here, and then they're let in. All kinds of debauchery happens with the performers. How often do you film the Mission? Not often. I think I've only been there. Actually, I think I may have only been there once. But yeah, it would be a cool place to go. But it's a little bit dangerous around 16th Street. And outside of 16th Street, it's not as interesting. Okay. So over around here, I don't think we're gonna see too many homeless people. Oh, I guess I take that back. You can see that guy doing his version of the moonwalk. Oh, and over here. Let's just take a looky-look. This is San Francisco for you. I swear, I always get lost in the city without my GPS. You seem to know your way around pretty good. No, I just, I get lost too. I just keep walking. You know, especially like, you know, I'm here looking at my flashing screen the whole time. Yeah, I get especially discombobulated as I'm walking around. You should check out North Beach and City Lights bookstore. A lot of history. I've been there before. I've been there before a couple times. Okay, I guess the show is in. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I've been over to North Beach a few times. Oh, by the way, for that person who was talking about Little Italy, that's what it's called over here. It's called North Beach. Where should I go? You know what? Let me go outside the bar. So yeah, it's not that I know where I'm going. It's just that every once in a while I'll know where I am, and then I'll just keep wandering wherever my legs will take me. Eventually, I'll just head back down on Market Street, and once I'm there, it's all gravy. Hey Lee, I'm gonna be going there soon. Let's link up and stream. Oh, D Flores, are you in San Francisco? Oh geez, let's see. Him and that Michael Jackson impersonator should have a dance-off. Let's see. Home is that way. Okay, let me go down this way then. Ruben Chip Santos died in 2009, survived the Iraq War, but lost his battle with post-traumatic stress disorder. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people out here on the street who are veterans. You know, there's a lot of people out there who are shell-shocked, you know. And I don't mean shell-shocked just simply as post-traumatic stress disorder. I mean shell-shocked as in from the war, you know. As they go down, you know, as they go over to the Middle East, you know, there's a lot of what do you call them? IEDs, you know, that go off. They don't kill them because the helmets are so much better. They don't kill them because the helmets are better, but you know, it doesn't help the brain any. And they're sent back out there, and they just get repeated blasts. And you know, like the guy who I took care of, John. You know, who had those multiple brain surgeries in the front of his head. When you have that concussive blast, what gets injured is the front of your brain, your impulse control, your logic, your reasoning. You know, so these people end up doing. Oh, look at this. Oh crap! The camera didn't move around. That guy in the with the blue sleeves just punched the light post. So anyhow, Do you ever talk to the homeless people you film? Oh, all the time, man. You should see the last time I did a... Oops. I'm going to go this way, actually, because there's tents this way. And because I don't like that guy who was throwing punches. Wouldn't want to have him throw punches towards me. Yeah, like... My very first stream, I was talking to people. And I was talking to this guy named Destin, and I was talking to him about his heroin addiction, and where he's from and everything, and I just saw him again in the last stream and talked to him at length, about getting clean and stuff, which is obviously a struggle for him. Otherwise, I wouldn't have seen him to be able to talk to him. But yeah, I regularly talk to people, but it's just that I don't feel confident doing so right now with my phone flashing like it's at some kind of 90s rave, So that's why this stream is taking sort of a twist and it's changed in nature. Oh no, I just realized I don't know how I'm going to be able to stream. I don't know how I'm going to be able to stream next week, because not only is my phone messed up, but also I'm out of space. I'm out of network allotment. So I'm over at Jones in O'Farrell. That's why things are looking a little rougher. I'm here in the TL Tenderloin. Yeah. You should... Let's see. You should look into a Skycam. Is that the little drone that follows you? Well, look at this right here. That's recording everything, or at least I'm not sure if you guys could look at it. Maybe it's filled up. It's only good for 3 hours right now, because I only got a 64 gigabyte card. So actually, it should be stopping. Oh, actually, it's only 2 hours and. It's only 2 hours in, right? Is that right? I can't see because 2 hours and 7 minutes. So it's recording everything. So while I may be just recording mainly myself with this camera, on that other one you're seeing only what I'm looking at. Wow, look at this. No, I'm not going that way. Executive override. It's Wi-Fi. Oh, sort of like a MiFi then. Well, I don't know. I'm still gonna be under the same restrictions. Oh, look at this. This guy's peeing right here out in the streets. His dick is out. Hold on, I went the wrong way. Anyhow, for those who say that San Francisco is on the up and up, actually, you know what? Again, executive override. I'm going this way. I think it's time to. I think it's time to get out of here. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, somebody's yelling about a camera. So I think I'm just gonna get out of here. So you guys may see things if you guys go over to the Patreon page on the GoPro that is not going to be anywhere else, because I'm just going to be talking to my own self over here. Although there's a cop car over here. Yeah, buddy. I'm passing through some stuff right here. Someone's snoring over there. Meanwhile, this cop car right over here. Boy, oh boy, is it scary here. But look, there's cop cars everywhere. Look, when's the last time you've seen a cop truck with rubbish in the back? I've never seen a cop truck before here in San Francisco. I mean, I've seen SUVs, but never a Ford truck like that. Anyhow, there's nothing going on over here inside this park. Over here is a little public toilet. These things are free. See, free access. Manual, not in use. Let me see if it's gonna open up. Nope. I guess you gotta feel the door open. Nope. Don't know what manual means then. Oh, so there's the police station right over there. So you saw somebody just laying on the streets, peeing right over there. And you saw all kinds of stuff going on. Actually, maybe you didn't, because I felt too scared to show it. But there's the police station. That's why there's police cars everywhere and unlabeled black cars over here. This woman with one leg going up the street in crutches. There's somebody carrying a chair down the street. And actually, right there, blinking lights over there's a power exchange. It's a sex club, or you could pay to go have sex with people you don't know. Yeah. And right across the street, there's a bakery and cafe called Hung Fat. You see there's more people living in or sleeping in tents down here. So for those who wanted me to go to Turk Street, this is Turk Street. This is Turk, and I used to live over on Turk Street, over at Turk and Leavenworth, up over yonder. But you see there's a lot of people sleeping over there. So as much as as it may look better downtown, it's just it's still bad outside of downtown. And should I cross the street or not? There's a lot more stuff over there, but it's probably going to be more dangerous. Low power exchange at Hung Fat. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you too, James Durkin. God, it's so scary it's scary there during the night. Yeah, I wouldn't have. See, I just kind of wandered over here. It's not some place I would have gone to knowing. Or actually, I guess I did say that I'm going to go over here, didn't I? But that's why I may be going out through the open. Don't know what's going on over here. You know what? I'm not gonna do anything too dangerous. I'm getting out of here. I'm going over on the other side of the street. Yeah, so a lot of times they'll, let's see, Ramon Ramirez, the Night Stalker. Anyhow, yeah, for those who don't know, the Night Stalker did operate around this area. I'm behind you. Let's see, where are you? Well, I've been walking around so much, you're gonna have to wave your hand if you see me. But I'm getting out of here. Lol, just kidding. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to F around here too much. You see over on the other side of the street, there's just people. It's just filled with people, but I didn't want to go over there. You gotta use your judgment sometimes. Not used to the cold. There are you? Yeah, well, you know what? I think this whole time that I've been streaming, I've had like my hand out holding on to this gimbal, so it is like frozen. Like I can't feel. I can feel the cold on my face with my hand, but I can't feel my hand with my. I mean, I can't feel my cheek with my hand. So my friend's girlfriend got scammed before. I bought a laptop, or at least she thought it was a laptop. It was a box with some bricks in it. Sort of a common scam. I thought that was going on over here, but his pants are down. Not sure if you guys can tell. So here we are. Some kind of police activity over here, which is good. It means that I'm relatively safe.
Is that a gimbal? Does it always stay straight?
Yeah, it does. See, you want to hold it? Okay. I'll see. What's up with you guys? I'm just streaming right here. I was just showing them what the tenderloin's all about.
How you can move it any way you want, huh?
Yeah, see, you could move it like this.
That's crazy.
It doesn't rotate.
It's not a gimbal. It's a...
Yeah. Yeah. How are you guys?
Good, how are you doing?
Doing good. Just walking through the TL. It's kind of sketchy over that way.
It's sketchy all over the TL.
Sure.
But you're a tall guy, though.
Yeah. How long you been in the force?
5 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna join back then, but yeah. My wife didn't want it, you know. So.
You have kids and stuff?
Yeah, I got
Good for you
kids.
guys.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
How's it? Are you guys ever go over into Hunters Point?
I haven't. I've been detailed out there before, but we're here permanently. So once we're here, like we stay here for a while.
Oh, okay.
So they basically the department decides where to go. You could transfer eventually. So I've only worked out there once.
Did you went with somebody else?
Yeah, I went with a partner. We got
Okay.
detailed out there. We'll document it for you.
Yeah, I heard it's pretty sketchy over. I mean, I used to live over in the Bayview. Let's go home now. And so, yeah, right on the edge.
There's good
Yeah.
people everywhere. There's bad people everywhere. You know what I mean?
All right. All right, thank you. Anyhow. So there we go. Let's see. Anybody have any questions? I still have the Lee's Channel shirt you gave me. Oh, okay. What's going on?
Are you filming?
Oh, yes, I am.
What are you filming?
Oh, just myself. I'm just talking to people.
you are, huh?
My screen's all messed up.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I think the gimbal would have been more impressive had my screen not been flickering like madness. Literally. I mean, I've gotten kind of used to it, but I don't think they're used to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's no parking anytime here, especially if you're on a bus.
So yeah, it is a busy night over here in the Tenderloin. So over here, I bought a burger for somebody. I'm not sure if it was over. Actually, it might be the same guy over here. Oh shit! Sorry about that. Tried to get out of that guy's way and ran right into him, almost. It reminds me of, you know, when I used to ride a bike, you know. You try to weave around people and they try to get out of the way, and it only makes things worse. Right, yeah, buddy. Here we are in the TL. They're lighting up something over there. Not sure if you guys can see the flickering. But yeah, there we are. The Tenderloin. Right at night. So that's Turk Street. That's the street I used to live on. I didn't get too much into it with the cop, but I wanted to kind of say that let you guys know that it's so dangerous that they don't go there. So I had heard that you know, nobody wants to be over in the Bayview. I mean, not the Bayview, inside Hunters Point. So the rookie cops, they'll send them over there because, you know, police do die, and if they're gonna die, they're most likely gonna die over there. So every once in a while, a police officer will be shot over there. Let's see. Let me look at the comments. What's your favorite spot in SF? Let's see. Over by... I'm not sure if it's the Palace of Fine Arts. Or... Oh man, I forget what museum it is. But there's a museum. You could kind of walk... There's like a park that's around that area. My friend Carlos took me kind of off the beaten path over there, and but it's not the Palace of Fine Arts. What is it? I forget. There's something with a similar name. And anyhow, he took me to a place over there where there's a cliff. You could look down, and right under it was the ocean. You know, so you over there looking over the cliff, and there's no one else over there. There's just trees behind you. So that's a pretty cool place. I mean, I have a fear of heights, which is funny because I'm 6'8", but I have a fear of heights, and you know, so I was laying on my belly just with my eyes over the edge of the cliff, and it would just scared the bejesus out of me. You know, maybe I think there might have also been a little bit of a slope, but it felt like I was going straight over. And yeah, it's quite a drop. I mean, my friend Carlos and I would grab these big ass rocks and heave them over, and watch as those rocks would crack into pieces as they hit the rocks below, where the waves were crashing in. Legion of Honor. There it is. There's Carlos, the Legion of Honor. So I think that's the coolest place. I worry about bears, wolves, and cougars. Well, 2 of the 3 you may encounter over in the Castro. I've seen bobcats here in the Bay Area. Actually, I saw those in San Jose. Oh look, there's somebody dressed up all in gold. So that used to be a popular thing. There was a guy who was really famous here in San Francisco. Must have been like 15 years ago. who would paint himself in all gold, and he'd have this little kazoo that he would go like whoop, whoop, as he would like, you know, acted like a statue. So a lot of people kind of got in on that, and yeah, you know, things come in waves, and you don't really see that much anymore. You're 6'8", holy giant. Yeah. So even though I don't really carry protection, that in itself is kind of protection. Although if you think if somebody's got a gun, that much body is a liability. Let's see. Glad I caught the stream. I'm glad you caught the stream too. And hopefully you'll catch future streams, and it'll be a bit more engaging. Once this, oh, I gotta go. I don't want to have something happen to the stream because there's copyright music being played. Don't look down. No, you know what's crazy is being 6'8", your center of balance is so much higher. I'll go by places where there'll be like rails, you know, for protection, and those rails will actually like be below my center of gravity. So if somebody would just push me, I would fly straight over. That's always scary. So I'm just gonna go up the other side of the street. And hopefully the stream doesn't get flagged for copyrighted audio. Oh no, is he just... You know what? I'm gonna put it on mute for a second as I walk past. Oh no, it's not working. Alright, so I was just putting it on mute as I walked past the, I think this guy just asked for money. Whoa, what's one spot you highly recommend if somebody visits San Francisco? Well, I don't know, it depends on what you're interested in, you know? San Francisco's got tons of places. You know, there's some people who might be very interested in going over into Hayes Valley, and seeing the painted ladies and seeing the vistas that were seen in Full House, you know, or in Mrs. Doubtfire, you know. So that would be over in Hayes Valley. You know, there's the Golden Gate Bridge. You could walk across the Golden Gate Bridge, and I'm sure that'd be pretty awesome too, because that's pretty iconic. If you go downtown, or I guess over in the financial district, you could see the Transamerica Pyramid. You know, honestly, I think downtown you could just walk to a lot of various places. If you see in my streams, I usually start off downtown, and I could end up at a lot of different places. So it's hard to say because San Francisco is actually really small. It's 7 by 7 miles. So yeah, it's much of it is walkable, or if not, if you don't want to walk, there's public transit can take you everywhere. You know, a lot of people come here for the cable car turnaround, which is actually right down there. In fact, you could see a cable car just turned around right there, or it's still turning. So people like to ride on that cable car and hang out, like literally hang out of it. They'll let you stand and hang on the edge of it as it goes up Powell Street. and you're riding in like a classical cable car. But of course, you see a lot of the downsides of San Francisco in the same neighborhood. So, like I said, it all depends what you want to see. You could go over into Japantown, or into Chinatown, or into the various other neighborhoods and see a lot of cool stuff there. Eat at a lot of really good restaurants. There's a few art galleries maybe you want to go over, and you could go to an art gallery and see a Picasso in person, which is not something you can do everywhere, or maybe even see like a Rembrandt, like see a one of his prints, So, I don't know, like I said, it all depends on what you want to see. He said, other than the bridge, what are you into? What do you want to see? I mean, there's there's Fort Mason, there's Golden Gate Park. I mean, it's just filled with places to look at. I mean, who knows? Maybe you want to go over and see the Folsom Street Fair, or the Gay Pride Parade. I'm at 15% battery. I'm sure there's a lot of. Let's see. Do you drive? Is it easier to use public transit? Yeah, I don't drive. I just use public transit, and for the most part, I find it's perfectly sufficient. Although, for some reason, the fares just keep going up and up and up and up. When I first got here, the fares were probably 5 times less, maybe more than 5 times less than they are now. So here is Union Square. This is another kind of landmark. I mean, honestly, to me, it doesn't really feel very noteworthy. But I'll take you guys through, nonetheless. So it used to be there'd just be homeless people everywhere here. But now the cops go through and chase them out. So yeah, we got some statue way up over there. I don't even know what it's all about. Actually, I don't know if it's from the California flag or the California seal. I mean, it looks kind of like it's got a trident. Let's see. On the night of April 13th, 1898, Commodore Dewey's squadron entered Manila Bay and, undaunted by the danger of submerged explosive, reached Manila at dawn of May 1st, 1898. Attacked and destroyed the Spanish fleet of the 10 warships, reduced the forts, and held the city in subjection until the arrival of troops from America. So, I guess this is about us taking over the Philippines from the Spanish. So it's interesting, here, 1898, At the same time, Japan is taking over islands over in the Pacific. We're also taking islands over in the Pacific before World War I. Here again, see? Let's see. Secretary of the Navy John D. Long to Commodore George Dewey, April 24th, 1898. War has commenced between the United States and Spain. Proceed at once to the Philippine Islands and capture or destroy the Spanish fleet. It's interesting. At the time, they're saying that it was the white man's burden to teach civilization to the savages over in the Philippines. And you could still see some of that stuff nowadays. They had depicted the people over in the Philippines as like having grass dresses and just being basically a stereotypical. It's just the stereotypical. Oh, looks like somebody had puked over here. Stereotypical, like, you know, like black bushmen or something, you know. Yeah, anyhow. Definitely the piers. Oh yeah, I like to go over by the piers. That's another one of my favorite spots. If you're going out on a date with somebody, take them over there, and yeah, you get some alone time, get some beautiful views, and it's so quiet, no one's over there. You know what you could do? Take them over to the ferry building, have a nice little meal over there, maybe buy a loaf of fresh baked bread, and take your significant other or whoever out on a little walk and look at the bay. Were those pimped out bikes? Yes, actually, that's not the first time I saw them. I saw them earlier in the street. So I guess they're just driving around, or cruising around, I guess. History is so odd. Yeah, well, you know what? The funny thing about history is that it's so... If you listen to what people tell you, you're going to get a very different version of history than what actually occurred, you know? That's one thing I've learned. I mean, I just recently learned, you know, everybody knows about the Japanese war atrocities, but I didn't know exactly how bad they really were, because a lot of those things were kind of covered up after the war. But like, you know, finding out about them killing Chinese people, Chinese prisoners of war, and filleting them alive, cutting off their meat while they're still alive, and chopping it up and cooking it, and throwing them, still living, in ditches to die while they eat their bodies. That's pretty crazy. Oh look, there is a mirrored surface. Can you see the phone? No, I wanted to show you. Nope. Just how bad the screen is, but... Oops, sorry about that. Oh, I'm over by Maiden Lane. So yeah, if I just wander around, eventually I'll just hit Market again because it goes diagonally through the city. I know because I see, oh look, there's another guy sleeping in front of Oliver Peoples. No, can't see through the car. checking out the street artists around Pier 39 is always cool. Yeah, there's a lot of scammers over there. One scam is an old scam. What they do is they get, there's some portraits that they sell that are of like Bruce Lee and other people, other celebrities. Look at this. People have gone through the rubbish bins, gone through the recycling, ripped through all of it, looking for any bottles and cans, and this is kind of what you're left with. So. The good news is that they didn't take the whole bin. That's something that happens. Anyhow, let's see, what was something I heard about that? I remember Japan apologizing to China about all that they've done to them, and had a thing called Moment of Peace or something like that. So they apologized about the comfort women. That's what it was. China and Korea have been very upset for a very long time about comfort women. So they would, they would take women and they would torture and rape them and tie them over to chairs with their legs apart and have soldiers rape them repeatedly. And it wasn't just something that the soldiers had done. This was actually something that they did at the behest of the government. The government set this up, knew about it, and in fact even was involved in arranging it. After the war, they never really acknowledged it. And that's why to this day the Chinese and the Koreans are very upset about it. So after a long time, they finally relented and paid a sum of money to go to the remaining surviving comfort women with the condition that they could never bring this up again, So, I mean, it's not really a full-on apology. They never really fully apologized. They just agreed to pay a little bit of money if people would shut up about it. But no, I'm not talking about that. Honestly, the comfort women is a bad thing, but, like filleting people alive and throwing them into ditches and eating them is, in my opinion, worse. The Japanese Imperial Army was the very worst army to be captured by. They killed, they killed like 6 million Chinese people. They took over most of China. They went through and took over most of China. And there was an edict that they should take no prisoners. So at the end of World War II, when they surrendered, only 30 Chinese prisoners of war made it out of there. 30 out of 6 million, So if you were an Allied force and you were captured by an army, if you were captured by the Nazis, there was a 2% chance that you were going to be eliminated. If you were captured by the Japanese Imperial Army, there was a 30% chance you were going to be eliminated. And there's people who survived, may have not been eliminated, but there's always things like the Bataan Death March, So. Oh God, yeah, the Japanese were savage. Well, what's crazy is nowadays, over in Japan, there's a lot of people who are trying to cover everything up. But anyhow, that's really off topic of what I'm doing over here. It's just something that I've been reading about somewhat recently. how does an island of people almost take over giant China? Well, you know what? They didn't just take over China. They took over a lot of the Pacific. So there's a variety of theories behind that. So, you know, something to keep in mind is China was going through a civil war at the time. You know, there were the communists led by Chairman Mao, who were fighting with China, and actually the Chinese government decided that they were a bigger threat than the Japanese, and so they focused all their energy on trying to take them out. Meanwhile, Japan was taking them over. So there's a lot more at play, and also, you know, China was pretty far behind militarily. You know, when the West first got in contact with them, you know, they viewed them as actually superior people. You know, they called them the Celestials. You know, like they were from heaven. You know, they're some more advanced people. They had these amazing dragon ships and gold and various riches, but they didn't continue developing from that point. So, you know, when Japan was going through there, Japan had much more sophisticated machinery, and actually before the U.S. entered the war, we were actually giving Japan. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, I sneezed. Look at that. There's a hole right in the road. What was I saying? Yeah, Japan was getting oil from the U.S., and I think that's actually one of the reasons, one of the beginnings of why they decided to attack us, attack Pearl Harbor. So we had cut off oil with them. You know what's actually really interesting is to listen to old radio broadcasts from when Pearl Harbor happened, because it's really interesting. It's not like how you would expect it at all. You know, the modern narrative is that yeah, we were doing nothing, and then they attacked us. You know, surprise attack. And so actually what was happening, they were on a campaign to take over the Pacific. We had stated that if they went onto our hemisphere that we would act. So they had said that they weren't going to be doing anything around our territories, like you know, Guam and the Philippines and all that. And meanwhile, their ships were spotted around there. So they attacked Pearl Harbor. They knew that we were going to mobilize and get into the war. In fact, I think, I'm not sure if it's World War I or World War II, but before we entered the war, we were like the 15th greatest power in the world. And then after we entered the war, we were the strongest nation in the world. That might have been World War I. But anyhow, so the attack on Pearl Harbor, it was a surprise attack. They had diplomats over here giving a prolonged speech, trying to buy time as their people went over and attacked. And they claimed that they had declared war, but as they are declaring war, they are attacking. Or maybe even the declaration came after we'd already been attacked. The whole purpose of this was to buy time for them, have people run out. It was a sacrifice move. Have people go out and try to attack their air carriers, because it was obvious that they had to bring air carriers because they didn't have any place to fly their planes from. Have our people go over and engage with those guys. Meanwhile, distracting from their real goal, which was I think Guam, the Philippines, and other islands over in the Pacific. Let's see, Pearl Harbor wasn't supposed to be a surprise attack. They sent a warning telegram. No, they didn't. It wasn't a telegram. So, I think you're confused. So, we had intercepted a transmission where they said that were going to attack. We intercepted it and sent a telegram saying that they are going to declare war. They had a diplomat over here giving a prolonged speech and sort of buying time before eventually declaring war. But yeah, I mean, you listen to old radio broadcasts, you can hear, like, you know, admirals actually talking about it and talking about, like, the strategy behind it, what they think they're doing, and you know, you'd think that they would be like, oh, those dirty Japs or whatever, but no, they were like, you know, these people, like, they were actually praising the move, saying it was a very, very tactical, very intelligent move that will definitely buy them time. So you could check it over on YouTube. I actually went on YouTube. The reason why is because, you know, I listen to radio shows like Loveline, like recently the Opie and Anthony show. You know, also Howard Stern from time to time, and you know, so some of the compelling stuff is like when a major event would happen. You know. For me, it's pretty compelling to watch, let's say, the Howard Stern show. When 9/11 happened, you could, you know, they're right there. They're in New York, you know, or in Manhattan broadcasting. Actually, I don't think they could. Yeah, I think they were. So, you know, there's people who are running from the World Trade Center as it collapsed and getting into the studio and then talking about how it was. And, I mean, you could hear some real raw emotion, you know? And, so yeah, I was listening to this stuff, and, you know, I found it very interesting. And, I was like, you know what? There was radio shows back when Pearl Harbor happened. I wanted to hear what it was like over there. And, surprisingly, you don't hear the kind of outrage that you would hear later on in 2001 for September 11th. Now my screen is completely wiped out. I can't see anything. Oh no, this is bad. Oh, let's see. I can't see Jack. Oh well, I'm just gonna assume that I'm still streaming, but I literally am just seeing like a beige screen. You know what? Let me turn it off and back on. Maybe that'll work. Oops. Okay. So right now I'm streaming with the screen off. And let me turn the screen back on. Nope. So I'm looking. There's a stripe of black and the rest is beige. So I literally cannot see a thing. So anyhow, I guess this is going to be towards the end of the stream. Anyhow, so what was I saying? Yeah, so I went and listened to. Oh, so if you listen to the shows from when the World Trade Center attacks happened. You hear them saying, you know, like, you know, F that, we got to go to war, you know, we got to, like, let's just nuke the whole place. I want it to be glass, you know, the whole sandy S-hole, let's make it glass, you know, and they were like, yeah, they were talking about the pussy government, you know, they don't do they don't do anything, and like yeah. Versus when you heard, and they're like, oh, this is worse than Pearl Harbor, you know. You hear when the attacks on Pearl Harbor happened, and they're really just talking about the strategy behind the whole thing. They're not talking about how dastardly it was. It was only afterwards. I mean, you know, where we said that we're going to war, that really the propaganda arm swung into action. So I'm gonna go down here and try to see if I can do something to fix the current predicament I'm in. Let me turn off my gimbal. It's gonna be a little bit shaky here. Whoa. Okay. Oh, I kind of see something. Hold on. I'm trying to find the brightness slider because it seems... Oh. Okay, I turned it all the way down. And now I'm turning the screen off. And back on, and it's just ruined. Yep. Let me see if I can manage to... Okay, there we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, now it's telling me that I use 50 gigs. Oh, let me see if I can move the brightness slider. Find the sweet spot where it just flickers crazy. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Hi Lee, I think you may have accidentally banned the wrong person earlier. Andrea Potato. I'm not sure at all, but I just wanted to tell you in case. I think that is the person that I did. There may have been 2 bad ones, not sure. I think so. I don't know who else. I can't see in order who got banned. But I'll go look for that Andreas guy. I could go through and look on the street. Anybody ever harass you on the streets? Oh yeah, all the time. Not too often on camera. So I will, if Andrea Potato, don't worry, I'll take care of you. I was just trying to get rid of that Trans Donald guy because he was just actually he was messing with Andreas, so or Andrea. So sorry, friendly fire. Anybody? Oh, let's see. If you ever see this, also very much enjoyed your stream as always. Thank you. So